UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, have been a point of discussion and controversy for many generations. Innate human curiosity causes many of us to look up to the skies and ponder what may lie above and beyond the clouds. Occasionally, though, we may see something we didn't anticipate when looking upwards. The past footage is all from the past few months, from the beginning of 2020 onwards, making these some of the 10 most recent UFO sightings. Number 10. Our first video was uploaded to YouTube by Gorden Mckenna on April 2nd, 2020. The entire video contains 7.5 minutes of unedited footage from NASA's live feed camera. I'll skip to some highlights for you to conserve time, but this amazing footage shows an array of potentially hundreds of UFOs flying by the International Space Station. It was described by the video uploader as an entire fleet. The clip has amassed over 100,000 views on YouTube in the first 5 days of it being live. From what I've seen, no one has been able to offer any real counterclaims to the bizarre array of light seen in the video, making this a truly unique UFO sighting that is causing waves throughout the internet. Whatever is happening in this video, it certainly seems strange that the anomalies appear and disappear seemingly at will against the black background of endless space. Is it possible that this is a massive extraterrestrial fleet that we happen to catch a glimpse of? Or is there a more rational explanation? Let me know your thoughts on this one, because it has myself and a large portion of the internet puzzled. Number 9. Our next video surfaced on April 7th, 2020, which, if you're watching this video on the day of release, it was just yesterday. Recorded in Chile, this 50-second clip shows very peculiar unidentified objects seemingly flying past our moon. It is hard to get a grasp of the size or shape of the objects from this angle, but there certainly seems to be 2 of them on the same route and headed in the same direction. The strange thing about this clip is that the 2 original UFOs pass through the frame, and then a few seconds after they are out of sight, a third and final object comes into view and passes across the frame. There's certainly a possibility that this is just a CGI, but considering it just surfaced, it's hard to really say just yet. Regardless, there certainly seems to be a rise in recent UFO sightings, considering more people than ever are confined to their homes and have time to look up at the skies. Number 8. Our next video is around 5.5 minutes long and was recorded at approximately 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time by Christopher Warren. Per his own description, the lights he witnessed were in the San Diego area and about a quarter mile off the shore while being roughly 200 to 300 feet in the air. There appears to be 2 unidentifiable lights very close to each other, which began splitting and moving on their own. Eventually, they line up in a horizontal pattern, and over time, more lights begin to appear. Slowly over time, the lights move from 2 to 3 to 4, all the way up to 7 lights in unison. Like so many other clips on this list, this video is hot off the press, and no one has yet been able to debunk it. Number 7. At number 7 on our list, we have a video uploaded by Guerrero, Amarillo of a UFO over Los Angeles. This was uploaded on April 2nd, 2020, just under a week ago. This one is a bit different from what we've seen so far on the list, and features 50 seconds of a helicopter circling a very strange object. Early speculation is that the helicopter is circling an untethered advertising balloon, but no one has been able to confirm that theory as of yet. There is a very similar occurrence in 2017 where that was the case. This happened right over Inglewood and attracted a decent amount of local attention. Hopefully we'll hear some updates about what this definitively was moving forward. Number 6. Our next clip is a bit shorter, but also takes place in California, specifically Stockton, on April 1st, 2020. But I can assure you this was not an April Fool's joke. The uploader of the original video mentions that this object he recorded from his balcony was sitting idle in that position for nearly 20 minutes. According to him, The object disappeared within seconds after he had finished recording. No one has yet disproven it, but popular opinion appears to be that it was a weather balloon. I'm no expert on weather balloons, but it does seem a bit odd overall. Let me know what you think. Number 5. Halfway through our list, we have a video recorded on March 28, 2020 in Madrid, Spain. This clip begins tame enough, with a strange red flickering light in the sky. However, about a minute into the footage, things take a turn and get pretty crazy. Seemingly out of nowhere, the red light beams an amazingly bright yellow light. It continues to do this multiple times as it also begins moving very quickly across the night sky. It moves locations, and the pacing of its flickering light appears to vary quite a bit. This continues for about 2 minutes until the object is completely out of sight. The craziest part is definitely the insanely bright light that was emitted a few times. I know I would be pretty spooked if I looked out of my window and was greeted with something like that. So far, no one has been able to pinpoint what this was. Number 4. For the first time on our list, our vantage point comes from the air, as this clip was recorded while flying over California towards Mexico, and just like our last video, it was recorded on March 28, 2020. The short 29-second clip shows a close-up zoom on a seemingly foreign object nonchalantly making its way across the sky. Its cruising altitude appears to be a lot lower than the commercial plane that held the passenger recording the footage, which seems out of the ordinary. It is very difficult to make out exactly what this is based on the distance and image quality, but your guess is as good as mine. So far, speculation points to this possibly being a military-grade drone, but who's to say for sure? Number 3. At number 3, we have a clip that, for the third video in a row, was also uploaded on March 28, 2020. Sightings certainly appear to be on the rise, but the amount of footage released on the same day seems without a doubt out of the ordinary. This clip highlights a single light becoming a triangle-shaped identified object over Minneapolis, Minnesota. The camera operator zooms very far in, as one of the lights appears to turn off and reappear on its own. Right at the very end of the video, one of the lights appears to go out as a separate one emerges to maintain the triangle shape. I've got nothing for this one. I'm just continuing to be amazed at the uptick in overall sightings recently. Number 2. At the penultimate spot on our list, we have a clip recorded on March 23, 2020, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The object in frame seems very strange, unlike any of the UFOs that we have seen so far. It looks to be appearing and disappearing at will, and at times it would seem that some parts of it are visible while others are not, as it inches its way across the sky towards the clouds. Unfortunately, the camera work was shoddy at best, so there are many moments where the object is knocked out of frame. However, it seems consistent when the object is able to be seen, and it certainly behaves unlike anything I would expect to see in the sky normally. I'm not an expert by any means, but it could possibly be an aircraft reflecting the sunlight and distorting the view of onlookers below. Let me know what you think on this one, as that's my only theory so far. Number 1. At the final spot on our list is a video that has been making immense waves throughout the internet recently. With the original video being uploaded on April 3, 2020, and already having amassed nearly 500,000 views, this one is getting popular, and it's for a good reason. This was recorded in Montreal, France, and contains footage that has been described as either the real deal or some of the most well-doctored footage ever produced. This 1 minute and 10-second video highlights 3 separate objects flying over our moon in incredible detail, complete with shadows and everything. This would certainly take quite a lot to manufacture using CGI or any artificial method. The close-up footage is amazing, and real or not, I have to commend this as being incredibly fascinating. While I'm not sure where I personally stand on the UFO debate, these videos are certainly intriguing in nature and provide a healthy amount of debate regarding their authenticity and origins. Did you have any inklings or knowledge as to what some of these UFOs could have been? Please let me know down below, as I'm genuinely curious. Until next time, keep your eyes towards the skies, and maybe you'll be able to record the newest and most undeniable UFO sighting.